Look at him. He thinks he deserves that torch. It's gone on too far. Alright then. So what are we doing? What is this? Why has he got a black eye and a bleeding nose that I very poorly edited because... Oh wait, I have the torch. Perhaps that is why. So, with my terrible editing skills established, what are we doing here? Well, as the title suggests, for anyone who is aware of Carl Benjamin, I'm taking the torch to do the job that needs to be done. I'm going to politically analyse and break down the politics of Attack on Titan. Those of you who are unaware and are wondering what that opening skit was about, well, Carl Benjamin, or Simon of the Card, used to essentially be a big figure of politics here on YouTube. At one point, he started to politically break down the meaning and messages behind films, including Dalmatian Man, and also, as well, Starship Troopers. Now, Starship Troopers, very much like Attack on Titan, is often mistaken to be a promotion of fascism. It truly isn't. And just to get my personal bias out of the way, to turn anyone off who's not interested in that kind of thing, just so you know what kind of language you're dealing with here, and well, if anyone is more intrigued by this, it will help you know right away. No, Attack on Titan is not a promotion of fascism. It is in fact, and this might confuse a lot of people with the following sentence given the previous sentence, if depending on, well, your bias, and, well, not just your bias, but how stupid you are. Attack on Titan is a debunking of political correctness. You see, no, that would be spoilers. It's difficult to talk about Attack on Titan without giving spoilers away when we're talking about politics. This is merely an introduction. I'm going to do every single episode of Attack on Titan one by one. Quite bizarrely, I know, starting with episode 1 of season 4. You might question as to why I'm doing it this way, but the politics became deeper and deeper as the series went on. To the point where, honestly, season 4 is more relevant, but if I finish the first half of season 4 before the studio finish making the second half, I'll go back to season 1, episode 1, and then by the time I've done that, logically speaking, the studio should have brought out the second half of season 4. I, of course, have taken the torch off of our Carl Benjamin, Simon of a Card, but he can have it back if he's willing to do two things. Admit that he's wrong about the premise of Attack on Titan, because... oh, good lord. If you're watching this, you are so horrifically wrong about the premise of Attack on Titan, it isn't funny. No, the premise of Attack on Titan is not everyone hiding in walls, trying to kill them. Attack on Titan did something very, very clever, and you've got to give the author credit for confidence, but it turns some people off, like yourself, if Carl is watching this, in which case, hi. It started off very deliberately basic to sucker normies into watching it. And then, boom, heavy politics, moral questioning, war crimes. And suddenly, these people who just like to be told what to think now have to ask the question, did Eren do something wrong? And the obvious answer, if you're not a cuck, is no, he didn't do anything wrong. But that's beside the point. You're all cucks if you disagree with me. You're all slaves. You're all pathetic if you think he did do something wrong. But that's a topic for later. That is most definitely a topic for later on, when we get to it. Now, as well as going through every episode, I would like to clarify if anyone is hoping to see subtitles and I'm dyslexic, we're not doing that, it is annoying as all hell. I will do it when it's appropriate. Such as having better lines in the original. Why did they change Zachary in season 3? Why did they change his lines? Oh god, I hate that. However, to clarify one extra thing before we get this whole thing on the road, I am going to include some scenes that were only in the manga. Annie is perhaps the best example of this, in terms of the fact that the author, his name escapes my memory right now. Isayama? Yeah, Isayama, if I remember correctly. That's not the Dragon Ball guy, is it? No, it's not. The author of Attack on Titan wanted to essentially have Annie, in the big reveal, laugh hysterically. But he didn't draw it in, so he asked that the manga, the animators who are doing the anime, actually have her laugh hysterically. So when we cover season 1, we will have Annie laugh hysterically. However, Levi has a bit of a different personality in the manga, and Mikosa's personality in the manga is a bit different to I Love Eren. That is a part of her personality, but it's not just the only thing in her personality. So we will take scenes that are deliberately, well, not deliberately so, but manga only, that weren't entirely put into the anime, which, you know, we get extra context as a result with certain characters. I mean, certain people, we will get to see more of them as a result, which is... Why'd they cut those scenes? I know it's for time, I know that's actually the reason, but I can still say why'd they do this, I can still be disappointed. So, we are going to cover everything and leave no stone unturned, but for those people who are just idiots and wrong, if you came here for another take, like Twitter, to tell you that Attack on Titan is the politics of promoting fascism, you're fucking wrong and you're fucking stupid. A little bit of a thing you need to understand is the following. Twitter does not fucking understand politics. You should never, ever listen to Twitter about politics, ever. Why? Just look at, well, whenever Twitter votes on an election in the UK, my personal home country, they always get it fucking wrong, and whenever they tell you what the right political thing is to do in the UK, they always get it fucking wrong. Twitter does not understand politics. You should never listen to them. Your best bet is if Twitter says that Attack on Titan is promoting fascism, your best bet is to say the opposite. That is how wrong Twitter is when it comes to politics. What it actually is, and I cannot say more than this, or else it would be giving spoilers to big reveals to people who might be watching this video after I've started to politically break down season 1 or 2 and possibly even 3. I can't say too much detail on this, but what Attack on Titan actually is a, well, debunking, if you will, of political correctness. Because in the world of political correctness, it is seen as okay to judge people for how they were born, and if they have a certain type of skin colour, shall we say, and say those people are all evil. They deserve to be treated badly, because they have benefited from person in the past committing a crime, so that they could have good things. Well, of course, if someone is evil, and they always will be evil, and they'll never not be evil, no matter how hard they try, and they can never redeem themselves, wouldn't it be morally wrong to leave them alive, so that then they could inflict suffering and evil on others? Do you now understand, anyone who has seen Attack on Titan, where that might be going? And furthermore, it uses the same language as people who actually, you know, judge people like me through the lens of political correctness as to be evil. It uses the same language. White devil, devil of the earth. I don't know how like obvious you want it to be, but it's not fascism. It's just, if you judge people as evil for how they're born, eventually you're going to create... My apologies there, admittedly. Attack on Titan is a difficult series to talk about for anyone who's not seen a single episode of this shit without actually giving away a spoiler or two. Admittedly, I fell down into the trap of saying a spoiler, so I had to edit that out right there. So, yes. Another thing as well to clarify is my apologies for a frequent changing appearance when I start making these videos. Of course, again, starting with episode 1 of season 4, but then if I finish the first half before they have finished the second half of Season 4, I'm going to go back to the beginning of the series and go from there. Attack on Titan, though, does become more politically dense as the series goes on. However, to say there is nothing to break down in the early seasons is actually wrong, and a lot of things actually sets up the later bits of politics we see later on, but that is honestly beside the point for this. I'm going to get to work, but seeing as I'm not doing this all in one day, and I have to start writing more scripts and taking a ton of notes, and war crimes, taking note of all of the war crimes that happen. It's like, gee, fucking hell, the war crimes in this series. I've got to get some work done, haven't I? Politically breaking down our favourite show about war crimes, and how the true monster all along was inside of you. Or rather, perhaps you're inside of it. Or you were stepped on by it. Or you were trying to step on that. Or perhaps you were the monster stepping on everyone else. Attack on Titan's weird. Attack on Titan is also horrifically dark at times, isn't it? Anyway, I hope you're looking forward to this. I know I am. I get to be the man who politically breaks down Attack on Titan. Episode by episode. If someone more qualified should really do this, honestly. What you gonna do? Carl Benjamin should have really done this, but he watched the first 3 episodes and thought he understood that this series was just about mindless zombies attacking people. Teasing aside, if Carl Benjamin or Simon of the Cards, whichever he prefers, ever watches this video, yeah, a little bit of a teasing aside, you actually do look better than when you were at your most fat, but I have got some work to do that involves politically breaking down a series. Oh boy, wish me luck.